It would have been great if we had one AI agent that would do everything. But as I said, there's so much variation in AI agents, and there's so many different faculties of AI agents that we need to understand one by one all of those kinds. The reason there's so much variation and variety, and there are different forms of AI agents, which can be software or sets of softwares, a hardware or sets of hardwares, or a combination of lots of complex interdependent software systems working along with an interdependent hardware systems. Why is it so? Because every AI agent lives for purpose, but the term used in AI is either a goal or a task. And until the goal is achieved, the AI agent has to consult the code, the programming logic inside of it to see what to do next. So by now you have learned that there is an environment, there is an AI agent that operates within the environment, and the AI agent lives as long as it has a purpose to fill, also called goal. Let's look into 2 to 3 more important aspects and get acquainted with the right vocabulary for it before we start looking into different types of AI agents. Now, an AI agent interacts with the world through sensors. It's called percepts, and it's also an input. So, for example, the eyes are the camera that are taking the vision of the world, and the ears can be any sound receptivity sensor. Similarly, there can be other sensors that can gauge motion or vibration or temperature, etc. So all those sensors are embedded in the agent for the agent to know the world or the environment that it exists in. There is a predefined logic of code that gives it instructions on what to do with these inputs. And as an output or a reaction to following the commands, the agent has to move the actuators. We will shortly look at what actuators are, just in case you're rusty with this concept. But just for now, just remember that there are various motors at work inside of a physical AI robot. Now, whatever motion is commanded towards the motors creates some motion, which in turn uh, if affects the limbs or other effectors of an AI bot, such as if there is some kind of gyro motion required on this joint, and that will definitely move the arm. So when the arm is moved, the movement of arm and the arm itself is effector. The hands, the legs, they are effectors. They are moved by the motion caused by actuators, which is following some code, which is taking instructions based on the input from the sensors. Uh, Same effectors in human body will be hands and legs. One last thing I want you to understand before the end of this video is what is actually an actuator. Now, not everyone is coming, and I think most of the students are not coming from an engineering background to this course. So for the sake of it, I'd like to explain through this video what is an actuator.
We can move the car seat forward or backward before we drive away in our car. An actuator makes the seat move. An actuator can move something in a straight line, also referred to as linear. Also, an actuator can make something move in a circular motion, also referred to as rotary.